So welcome back to part 2 of the creativity series, and to day 2. Now, yesterday I introduced the very beginning of this visualization. There's still a lot more to do, a lot more to add, and a lot more to, I guess, refine in this technique. The temptation is to feel like there's a bit much kind of going on sometimes and to think that's overcomplicating the meditation. But give it a few days and I think you'll settle into it very quickly, very naturally, and it really will bring about a feeling of stimulating creativity, which of course is what this series is all about. For sure, you'll still get a feeling of calm because you're bringing a sense of awareness to it, a greater feeling of clarity, and probably also a greater feeling of openness because we're working so much with that idea of a spacious and open mind. But it's important to remember that the focus is very gentle, it's very light. Visualization is nothing difficult, it's nothing complicated, it's as easy as just remembering something. It's that kind of effortlessness that we're talking about with this visualization. Again, I'll lead you through the exercise, introducing the second part of this visualization. But for now, you just take a moment or two to settle yourself in the chair, to get comfortable. Posture nice and upright. And when you're ready, with the eyes open, just beginning by taking a few nice big deep breaths. And with the next out breath, just gently closing the eyes, allowing the breath to return to its natural rhythm, in and out through the nose. As you just take a minute or so to check in with the physical senses and the immediate surroundings in which you're sat. And just bringing the attention back to the body now, starting to notice the different physical sensations in the body. Perhaps whether there's a sense of resistance or acceptance towards those feelings. But just to build up a clearer picture in the mind, to bring the mind into the body. Starting at the top of the head, just gently scanning down towards the toes now. Just noticing what feels comfortable and what feels uncomfortable. the same time, just starting to notice the emotional tone of mind. Remember, if you're not sure what that is, you can often get a sense of what it is by simply looking, noticing the way in which you're observing or searching for that emotion. So just pausing to ask yourself why you're doing what you're doing today. And as with yesterday, being clear within that motivation how this exercise has the potential to help those around you as well as yourself. And knowing as you begin the exercise that there's really nothing to create or achieve here, just allowing the process to happen. With that in mind, without trying to change the breath in any way at all, just shifting the focus to that rising and falling sensation, and just resting the mind with that feeling, just for the next minute or so. Having followed the breath in that way, now just shifting the attention back down towards the feet in just the same way as you did yesterday. Just imagining an area about the size of a football, but bringing to that area all the qualities that you were working with in part one, the qualities of sunlight, of warmth, of brightness, of clarity. And as you just gently rest the mind in that space, just noticing, being curious, whether there's a feeling of heaviness or lightness, of restlessness or stillness. And of spaciousness or restriction. And moving up this time to the area just below the belly button. And remember, that area sits in the middle of the body, so it takes in the lower back, the lower abdomen, the hip and the pelvic area. And again, curiosity, is there a feeling of heaviness or lightness? Of restlessness or stillness? And of spaciousness or restriction? So just getting a very general sense in each area. Again, moving up to the next area, that area of the diaphragm, the solar plexus. Just imagining that sunlight in the middle of the body now. Again, is there a sense of heaviness or lightness? Nothing to do, just noticing the feeling. A feeling of stillness or restlessness. And a feeling of spaciousness or restriction. Not thinking about it, just noticing and noting the quality. Move up again, this time to the height of the chest, the upper back. To rest the mind there, noticing quality of heaviness or lightness. Of stillness or restlessness. And of spaciousness or restriction. And then up once again, this time to the height of the neck and the throat area. Heaviness or lightness. Restlessness or stillness. Spaciousness or restriction. This time up to the level of the brow, the forehead, but in the middle of the head. Again, just gently resting the attention. Heaviness or lightness. Stillness or restlessness. Spaciousness or restriction. And then finally up above the top of the head, remember about just 6 to 8 inches above the top of the head. Still imagining that space about the size of a football. Same qualities of brightness, lightness, clarity, and noticing a feeling of heaviness or lightness. Stillness or restlessness. And of spaciousness or restriction. Now I'd just like you to shift your attention from one of those places to the next. So almost as though we're playing scales. We're now going to come back down through those areas. So shifting your attention from above the head to the middle of the head. Just pausing momentarily, reminding yourself of that, feeling the quality of lightness, of brightness, of space, then to the area of the throat and the neck, the area of the chest, the upper back, the diaphragm, middle of the back, belly button, the navel, and then down between the feet. And we're just going to come back up those points now, moving from the ankles to the navel, to the solar plexus, to the chest, to the throat, to the brow, above the head, back down to the brow, to the throat, to the chest, to the diaphragm, to the navel, to the ankles, and one more time, to the navel, diaphragm, chest, throat, brow, above the head. And just for a moment now, just for 30 seconds or so, just let the mind be completely free. Remember, no effort, no control required, just letting the mind do whatever it wants to do. And then just bringing the attention back to the body, back to the physical sensations, contact between the body, the chair, body and the floor, and that feeling of the weight of the body, the effect of gravity. Noticing those sounds around you once again. And in your own time, when you finish, just taking a moment as you open your eyes now, just to be clear about how you're feeling without judging it or analyzing it. And clear about the importance of maintaining that awareness as you go through your day today. And when you're ready, you can just sit back in the chair and have a stretch. So today we were just developing that visualization a little bit further. Tomorrow there'll be one more part to add. And we're working towards a point where, as I say, the mind feels, on the one hand, very still, very focused, and yet at the same time there's a quality of kind of energy, creativity, and spontaneity about it. So although these exercises at first may not seem immediately related to creativity, we're very much laying the groundwork, the foundations for a sort of a fertile, creative mind state. Don't worry if you found that the mind still wandered quite a lot. That's perfectly normal, and I would expect it to as you're learning a new exercise. Equally, don't worry too much if the mind felt a little bit tight today and yesterday. Again, when you're learning something new, it's quite usual to apply a little too much effort, and that can sometimes bring about a tightness or a narrowness of mind. So when you come back tomorrow, make sure that you allow the mind all the space it needs, and then you bring about that very gentle quality of focus to the